Good morning, all. We're starting with the today topic is for the Java multithreading. So we start with the multithreading in Java. It is a simple diagrammatic flow how we show the multithreading. There is a main thread, and we show there are the three threads are working. I explain in detail for each and thread how they are switching from one part to the another part. So there is a what is the single thread system use and approach with the event true with the polling. Multi-threading in the Java is a process of executing multiple threads simultaneously. All threads work simultaneously, and this feature is not exist in the C++ because it is a word is a simultaneously. All threads have to work at the same time. Thread basically lightweight process. It is a unit for the smallest unit for the processing. The what is the simple advantage for the Java multi-threading? It does not block the user because threads are independent and you can perform multiple operations at the same time. Secondly, you can perform many operations together, so it saves your time. Thirdly, threads are independent, so it does not affect other threads. If exception occur in a single thread, other threads will not be affected, so your program will not be affected. Only the thread which is not working, we can stop that one. Thread basically for starting for the what is the thread, then we would go to the multi-thread. Thread, it is a lightweight sub-process, smallest unit of processing, separate path for the execution. Threads are independent processes. We cannot say it is a process because one process contain many threads. So thread is an independent function, you can say. If there occurs exceptions in one thread, it does not affect other threads. It shares the common memory area. So it is a very good advantages. Messaging, how one thread calls each other. Then when programming with some other language, you must depend upon the operating system to establish the communication between the threads. But in the Java, we provide a clean, low-cost way for two or more threads to talk to each other. Via calls to the predefined methods that all objects have. Java's threads messaging allows you a thread to enter the synchronous method of an object. Then wait there until some threads acceptly notifies it to come out. Here is a diagram which shows it is a main memory and there are three processes are working and one process may contain many threads. So it is a process number one which contains three threads which are named T1, T2, T3 and they are working. It shows in the diagrammatic way they are synchronizing each other. All these threads work at the same time. It is the main feature for the multi-threading. Otherwise, in other language, when one thread finishes, then other starts. But in the Java, it will work, one thread work for the one part, then second thread work for the other part, third for the other part, and the thread will be paused at the same time. When it again comes to the loop, then it will start from it was left. Then we use the word resume here. So it is a simple life cycle for the thread. Here we create a thread, then before it goes to the runnable, thread is created, and thread is created 2-3 ways. I will show the next slide. So when from the new thread it goes to the start, then it is a main memory where it works, and runnable, it is ready to for working. Then it goes to the running state. Here it works, and if we want to stop it or sleep it or suspend it, then it comes down for the some time, then again resumed from it where it was paused. So after suspension, the thread is paused. It will be paused, not stopped. It will be paused and it will come to alive after some time. Whenever we give the resume, notify, or other method we can use for the calling. So next, if the thread is executed good, then it will work here. And we can block, it will be blocked from some time. It is not a block means it goes to the state block if it does not work, but it goes to the block for some time, we can resume it. If we blocked permanently, it will not working here, then it is blocked here and we will kill that thread and go to the dead state. The rest of the threads are working here. If some thread goes blocked state, only that thread we have to move from the dead state. If the thread is executed good, then it will work here. And we can block, it will be blocked from some time. It is not a block means it goes to the block for some time. If we blocked permanently, it will not working here, then it is blocked here and it will we will kill that thread and go to the dead state. The rest of the threads are working here. If some thread goes blocked state, block state to the dead state. Otherwise, punish thread is created. If it is not created in a good way or it is not working, then we can move from the new state to the dead state. So these are the just states of the threads, and it is an active state where the thread is working here. It is active. Whenever it is alive, we can say it is in this zone. If it is suspended, wait, or then it goes to the block state, and we can resume it. Otherwise, it move to the side. So, what is the thread? All the states I will go to explain. First, a stat thread is newborn. When it is a newborn, it is created, and if it is created in a good way and it is working, then it move to the runnable state. If it is created but it is not in a working condition, then we move it to the dead state. So these are the 5 states we have already seen in the JVM, Java Virtual Machine life cycles. There are the new state, runnable state, running, non-runnable block, then it is terminated. Explaining all this, the thread is in the new state if you create an instance of a thread class, but before the invocation of the start method. It is created, but before going into the start. Runnable, the thread is in runnable state after invocation of start method, but the thread scheduler has not selected it to be the running state. So thread is created in a good way. It is a working state, but it is not go to the working. Here the thread move into the working state, and thread actually goes for the working, and it works here. And now if you want to stop the thread, resume the thread, then it move from the running to the block state. If you use for the working for the sometime, then we can sleep it, or for sleep is used for the thread is stopped for the sometime. Then we move it to the another state, and it is the blocked state, and where the thread is still alive but is currently not eligible to run. A thread is terminated or dead state when it is run method exists. It is terminated when it is completely completed or it is not working state. Then we use the terminate state. So it is a yield which it move from the one state to the another state. So it is the suspended or resume state. In this approach is used when we want to suspend a thread for some time due to certain reason, but do not want to kill it. It is, you can say, it is paused, suspended or paused. When it is paused, then it resume. Resume word is used so that it can be used from where it was left. So firstly, we go to the runnable state, then running state. Here it is suspended for some time. Then it goes to the suspended, from where it again goes to the resume state. Then it can work here. So second is the sleep. This method is used to queue during the time period. Now in the sleep method, some time is attached. We can write here 5,000 milliseconds, 6,000. It may 5,000 milliseconds means it will stop for the 5 seconds. 10,000 10 seconds, the thread will be paused and it will move for the run into the sleeping state. So we give the time period for the sleep, and the thread remains here for that sleeping time. And after the sleeping time period is over, it again goes to the runnable method, then runnable to the running state where it works. Similarly, there are states for the wait and notify method, blocked until certain conditions. Now, sleep is used with the time, but wait notify when we stop the thread for some other work. There is some condition, some other work is pending or some other state is pending. Until that condition is not completed, we will not notify it. It is stopped for the certain condition. Whatever condition we will give, and the thread will not work for that time or that until that condition does not work. And that condition completed, then it again goes to the notify and again come to the runnable state, then it goes to the running state. How we create a thread? Generally, there are methods we will write thread the extend thread class. For second, by implementing the runnable interface. These are the two methods. Third, we also create with the main method also. So thread class provides the constructor and methods to perform operations on a thread. It extends the object class, then we create a thread, we will write extend the thread. When we use the interface, then we use the word implements. Commonly constructors, really the default constructor or the We can write the parameter constructor runnable. There are the runnable and string. These are the constructors used for the thread class. So it is a simple example when we create a thread by using the thread, extends thread. We will write a class extends thread. Now it becomes a thread. It is not a simple class, it becomes a thread, and a thread always contain a function which is named as run method. So this is a run method. It must have a run method for that will have all threads will have the same run method. All threads, there are two threads named A and B, and it works from 1 to 05 thread A for the first time. Then thread B, it is again written from the 0 to 5. It work for that loop work for the 6 times, and the thread named as B. How we run it? In the main method, it is the main method, we create a object. Eight object is created for the class A, and object name of OBA is the object of A. Then to run this method, we call it as object dot start. Now this is executed. Then B, it is called object dot start. So when we have a thread method, you must have a function run, and we will call with the method start. It is notable. Then some common methods of thread class, it is always contain a run method. It is used to perform action of a thread. It is performed in the run method. Starts the execution of the thread. JVM calls the run method for the thread. JVM takes the method from the start method. If we use the sleep is along with the milliseconds called the currently executed time to sleep for the temporary time period. So join waits for a thread to die. When thread dies, then we use the method join, and it is join again with the time period, thread to die for the specified milliseconds. And get priority, return the priority of the method. We can use which thread is the important one. You can run that method on the priority basis. It will run first, then with second, and then so on. So we can give the priority in the int wise also. 1, 2, 3 we can write, then give the get name, which returns the name of the thread which is currently active. So change the name of the thread, we can use the set name. We can use the set name, and the name of the thread will get changed. So these are the common methods commonly used. Get name is a thread name, get priority, thread's priority is alive, it is still working. Join, wait for the thread to terminate. Run, entry point for the thread. It is a run method which is use the entry point for the thread. Sleep, suspend for the time period. Start a thread by calling the run method. So second is the runnable interface. That first was created by using the thread, extends thread we write. Now we use the runnable interface by any class whose instances are extended by the thread. So only by method run. Void run is used to perform action again. So instead of writing here extends thread, we will write the implement runnable. So this is the second method. We create the thread. Again, the function remains the same for the run. And then the main method, again, we can call object is created M1 for the class multi3. So T1 is the name of thread which is used here. So this is second method. We can create the thread with the implements using the interface. So this is a complete program where the class extends the class current thread, and it is a main method, void main thread dot current thread we will call it at, and this is a current thread which is working. Right here is the working in the main method, so thread the name is main here. Now we change the name of thread. We write t dot set name, and thread name becomes the my thread. So when we print it, it gives the my name. So in this thread, we will do the work n is to 5 greater than 0 and minus 9. So counting goes to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here is the thread sleep of 1000. 1000 stand for the 1 second. So when you get the 5 answer, the compile JVM will pause for 1 second. Then it give answer 4. It will pause again for 1 second. Yeah, you will get this answer by pausing for the 1 second because the sleep method is activated here. Next we could use is alive and join. Is alive method returns true if the thread upon which it is called is still running, then it returns false otherwise. Simple is active, then it is true, otherwise false. Join until the thread on which it is called terminates. Join is used when when one thread is terminated. Its name comes from the concept of calling thread waiting until the specified thread joins it. So additional form of join allow you to specify maximum amount of time that you want to wait for the suspended thread to terminate. So join throws the interrupted exception also. So it is a simple program that is made for the thread. It is a thread implements runnable. So string one is thread. Thread is taken as t. So it is a constructor which is made for the new thread, and thread is name is written as thread name. Whatever we can change the name also again. Then system dot print we will plus t. It will give the thread name. So t dot start the method. So it is again the function call is the run method, which is the entry point for the thread. I 1 to 0. Again sleep method is used. Simply when you call 1 2 3, all these three threads will work in the same manner. There is a one you can see here. New thread name is new thread, and first is 1 2 3. Then thread 1 is active, is alive, 2 is also alive, 3 is alive. So in this you will see synchronity is 1 2 3. All three heads are working here, all the three threads. It is not, if one thread is working, so simply you can get 5 4 3 2 1, but it's not like it is one working, then second working, second time again, third time again, again fourth time again. It is all the threads are working at the simultaneously. So it is the main part of the multi-threading, how all the threads are live active for the specified time. Thread one is, so after executing, you will find all threads are not alive, they are false after executing when the method is completed. Secondly, we can also provide the thread, the priority, which is the then CPU gives the time. So for which thread is important at that point of view. So we can write the max priority, minimum priority, norm priority. Maximum priority is given, then that thread will be executed first. Minimum will be executed at the last point. So we can give the enter priority also. So thanks for today. It's all. Have a nice day.